Welcome everyone to the session on OOPS, Object-Oriented Programming System, and DBMS, Database Management System. Let me introduce me first. My name is Ramananda Sarkar. I am MTech in Metallurgical Engineering from IIT Kharagpur. I have work experience for more than 27 years, including industry and academic. I have mostly worked in the area of process data extraction, data science, artificial intelligence, machine learning, statistical analysis, data visualization to the real life projects in the industry. I applied VBA, VB.NET, C Sharp, Java, Python to the backend programming, ASP.NET for web application. Application of database has always been a key component to store data and give access to the desktop application, web application, and mobile application. I have also got the opportunity to work with Microsoft Azure, AWS Cloud Services, SAS, Tableau, and Microsoft Power BI, data analysis and data visualization tool. Let us come back to our topic. It is better to have an interactive session with you. If you feel to get clarified anything at any point of time, please feel free to ask me. I'll be happy to answer. You may have questioned your minds. What other program methodology other than OOPS? So, functional programming languages. Rather than focusing on the extraction, execution of the statements, functional languages focus on the output of mathematical functions and evaluations. Languages are Scala, Elan, Haskell, Elixir, Epsar. Second is procedural programming languages. A procedural programming language follows a sequence of statements or commands in order to achieve a desired output. C and C++, Java, Pascal, Basics are the languages come under this category. Third is the logic programming languages. Instead of telling a computer what to do, a logic programming language expresses a series of facts and rules to instruct the computer on how to make decisions. Some examples of logic languages include Prolog, Absys, Datalog, Alma, O. Fourth is scripting languages. Programmers use scripting languages to automate repetitive tasks, manage dynamic web content, or support processes in larger applications. Some common scripting languages include PHP, Ruby, Python, Bash, Perl, Node.js. Fifth is the object-oriented programming languages. This type of language treats a program as a group of objects composed of data and program elements known as attributes and methods. Some common object-oriented programming languages include Java, Python, PHP, C++, and Ruby. What are the advantages of object-oriented programming? Object-oriented programming is faster and easier to execute. Object-oriented programming provides a clear structure for the programs. OOP helps to keep the Java code DRY, don't repeat yourself. OOP makes it possible to create full reusable applications. So it makes the Java program readable, scalable, maintainable. Industries with highest demand for OOP developers include financial services, healthcare, high professionals, high-tech, professional services, real estate, retail, and e-commerce. Object-oriented programming concept in Java. In object-oriented programming technique, we design a program using objects and classes. What is object? An object in Java is the physical as well as logical entity, whereas a class in Java is a logical entity only. An entity that has state and behavior is known as an object. For example, chair, bike, marker, pen, table, car, etc. It can be physical or logical, tangible and intangible. The example of an intangible object is the banking system. An object has three characteristics. State represents the data, value of an object. Behavior represents the behavior, functionality, or method of an object such as deposit, withdraw. Identity. An object identity is typically implemented via a unique ID. However, it is used internally by the JVM, Java Virtual Machine, to identify each object uniquely. Some examples of real-world objects like pencil, apple, book, board, bag. If we take example of pencil, pencil has color, pencil has length, as their states and behavior it can write. What is a class in Java? A class is a group of objects which have common properties. It is a template or blueprint from which objects are created. It is a logical entity. It can be physical. A class in Java can contain fields, that is variables, methods, that is function, constructor used for initialization of variables, blocks like static blocks, the nested class and interface. The syntax to declare a class, you have to write class, then class name. You have to define the field, that is the variables, and you have to define methods and enclose with the curly bracket. Method in Java. Method in Java is like a function which is used to expose the behavior of an object. Advantage of method. Code can be used again and again, that is code reusability, code optimization. There are four pillars in OOPS. First one is the abstraction, is a process of hiding the implementation details and showing only the functionality to the user. For example, in mobile we talk, but we don't know the internal operation of the mobile phone. Encapsulation in Java is a process of wrapping code and data together into a single unit. For example, a capsule which is mixed of several medicines. Encapsulation gives the security to the Java program and prevents from any hacking. Inheritance in Java is a mechanism in which one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of a parent object. It is an important part of OOPS object-oriented programming paradigm. Polymorphism in Java is a concept by which we can perform a single action in different ways. So object-oriented programming system has all these components: object, classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Java program is an object-oriented program. You can write Java program like this. We have to define class. The class name has to start with capital letter. Within curly bracket, you have to define the state, that is field or data members of instance variables. String name also a field, and you have to define the one method void display information, then parenthesis after that curly brackets, and it print out the roll number and name. Then we have to also define one main method, creating main method inside the students, and it is important, I'll discuss later. Creating an object or instance. Then we have to create the object of the class. Class is the blueprint of the object. So we have to create object from the class by like this. We have to define the class. S1 is the object of the class student and new is the memory location for the object S1. You can define any number of objects S1, S2, S3 and we can print in the values of the objects. S1 ID is the accessing member through reference variables. Accessing members through reference variables, also initializations, and we can also display the method, call the methods and display the output. Now, now we'll write a Java program in a notepad and we'll run it, execute it in command prompt. This is a class. Name of the class is student. We have defined the field variables, integer roll number, string name, void display information, system.out ln roll number, and we have provided on space so that there will be a space between the two outputs, and we have divided static void main string args, but public is the access modifier, static is the can be called without creating any objects or instance, void is the non-return type, main is the name of the method where Java starts executing the program, starting point of the program, string the type of variables of the arrays, args is the name of the strings. Args is the main array of group of strings. So student, my object is the object of this class student, and new is the memory location where it will be stored. And my object dot roll number it will print, it will display the object here in the main method. So main method also for input and output of the variables. We'll save this in a directory as a Java file with a Java extension and all files, save it. Then we'll go to the command prompt, Windows R. First we'll check whether Java is installed or not by writing Java hyphen hyphen version. Yes, Java is installed. So we change the directory to C drive. Then our directory is Java program. We'll compile our Java file by Java, writing Java C, then file name. Now we'll run the Java name of the file class. So it has given output 0 and null because we have not initialized the program. Initialize the things. So you can, it has printed the default value for integer 0 and default value for name is null. So we have to pass dot roll number equals to suppose 100 and my object dot name equals to A, B, C. It has printed 100 and A, B, C. We can initialize we can initialize our field by different method. This is by reference variable. We can use through constructor. We can use through method, passing arguments through method also. Yes, this is all about Java object-oriented programming system. If you have any questions, you can ask. Okay, fine. No question. So we can go to the next topic, that is our today's topic, that is database management system, DBMS. What is DBMS? What is data in DBMS? Data in the context of databases refers to all the single items that are stored in database, either individually or as a set. If we see our in object-oriented programming system, the field variables integer, the roll number. The roll number we have provided 100, and name we have provided ABC. So these 100 and ABC are the data of the student entity. So those data are actually stored in a file system, maybe Excel file, text file, or any other database like MySQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, Oracle database. So what is database? Da- Database is an organized, consistent, and logical collection of data that can easily be updated, accessed, and managed. And database mostly contains set of tables or objects. Anything created using create command in database object, which consists of records and fields. Database management system DBMS. What is data in DBMS that we have seen? Now DBMS versus RDBMS. Database management system DBMS is a software that is used to define, create, and maintain a database and provides control access to the data. Examples of popular DBMS system are file systems, XML, Windows, registry, etc. And what is relational database management system? It is an advanced version of our DBMS. Example of popular DBMS system are MySQL, Oracle, DB, etc. Now we'll see how database works with an example in MySQL Workbench. So I have installed MySQL server here, and this is the MySQL Workbench where we can create, access data into tables. Let us go to now. Password is required. We can save it. So this is where we can create database. Already some schemas already there. Now we'll create one database. Here we can write query. Creating database is create database, suppose Newton school colon semicolon and we have to execute by executing this button. So see, on row has affected and on database has been created. You have to replace it. See, it has created on schema or database. So you can create from here also. Give the name of the database and have to apply and it will create. You can create through query also. So we have already created on database. There are tables, views, stored procedures. First we will create on table. Right click and create table. So this is the manual process. You have to give the name of the table. Suppose this is the student table and you have to give column name, ID for student. This is the data type integer and this is the primary key and the value should be not null. You have to create another column. We can create any number of columns from here and the data type is the varchar here and it has to be not null or maybe null. It can accept not. Now we can apply. So this is called DDL, data definition language. There are four types of language in RDBMS. So this is the query where we can use this query also to create on table. What is the query? Create table name, schema name or database name dot student, and this is the column name, ID student, integer data type not null, and name is the another column name which will contain varchar similar to string, and this is also not null. It can be null also, and primary key here is the ID. Primary key is the unique value. You cannot duplicate primary key. So execute. Here it has executed and it has created on table. So again refresh. We go to the student table. It has created on table, and we see. So student table has been created and there is no data. We can insert data. Student ID is 1. It can be any name. Suppose Rama, and you can apply. So this is the query to insert NewtonSchool students ID Rama. So this is generated on query. We can copy it, then apply. It has executed and finished. So one data has inserted. Now to check, you can go again query and you can select the data from the data table. Query is select star from student. Now if you select this query, it says execute the selected portion of the script or everything. So I have selected one, so it will only execute the select from database. Oh, we have to give the schema name also. So it has selected on row. We can delete data, delete from this is the table name. So it will delete the data. If we select from the database, there will be data. You can drop table name. So it has dropped the table. There will be no table here. So this operation can be done using from the command line also. Now we'll see this same operation in the command line. Go to the MySQL command line. It is asking for password. So MySQL. So it has opened. Here also you can create same database. Suppose Newton School 1. Now enter one database has been created. We can use that database Newton School 1. So database change. Here you can create table. The query that you have saved here for creating table, we can use the same query here also. Create table new school student ID student integer not null primary key and press enter. So one table has been created. Now we can insert data here also. Suppose you want to insert data, you have to write the query here. Enter. So one row has been affected. Then we'll select the data from the command line again. So it has retrieved. We can drop table. Before that, let us see. So it has created table here also, and also there is a on database. So this is the glimpse of a database, how it works. We can create schema, database or schema. We can create tables. Similarly, we can create view. View is nothing but is a written procedure where we can create one query that will combine any number of columns from different tables, and we can just run similar to table. Select, we can select from views. It will view the data from different tables. I hope students you have got some idea how database works, and that same data can be accessed by web applications or desktop applications. And this is all about today's session. Thank you all for your patience listening, and goodbye.